Welcome to Wellness Rebranded.
We know there is so much conflicting health and fitness advice out there.
And you're tired of the wellness fads, endless diets, and impossible standards that make you feel like nothing you do is ever enough.
You're ready to tune into your mind and body and feel empowered around health.
We're the healing trio here to help you redesign your relationships with food, fitness, and yourself.
I'm Elizabeth, registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor.
I'm Maria, licensed mental health therapist.
And I'm Tara, personal trainer.
Together, we're changing the narrative on health away from diet culture, hustle culture, and toxic positivity and towards healthful self-care.
So grab your water bottle, get ready to laugh, learn, and grow, and let's start rebranding your wellness journey.
So today, we're going to share with you stories. Stories of life stories. Real stories.
The drama.
Nothing today has been made up for entertaining purposes. They are all real of this life of ours.
Stuff for entertaining purposes.
I don't know, but you know how in movies it's like, this true story has been adapted for none today will be adapted. They will be raw and real.
Well, kick us off and tell us your raw and real story.
Okay, let me share with you guys.
Okay. It's like she was waiting for the invitations.
Okay.
I'm ready. Listen, I want to share with you all something that happened to me that I thought it was very interesting. Okay. And it taught me a life lesson that I'm going to take with me to the grave. You ready? I was going to the movie theater with my family.
Where all good stories begin.
Okay.
A place known for telling stories, as it were.
So we were going to the movie theater and we're giving our ticket to the person right before you make it to the, with our popcorn and all that stuff. And I'm giving,
Before you make it to the Vaha.
to the theater itself. Anyway, like in the hallway, you know what I mean, right? We're giving the ticket and I don't know, the guy maybe mentioned something about my t-shirt. Who knows? Like, oh, I love your t-shirt. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I bought it at blah, blah, blah store, whatever. Really quick, the lady right behind us gets really upset and say, come on, just give your ticket and move on. There's people here waiting. And I was like, whoa, right? Like I was shocked. Like it was a surprise.
Dude, this is especially crazy because movie theaters have assigned seating. It's not like she was not going to get the best seat in the house.
Maybe she was late
Must
for
really
her.
like the previews.
No, or maybe she was late because I don't think she was coming to thankfully she wasn't coming to my movie. She got into a different theater, but I turned around like in shock and I'm like, wow, I kept walking and then she walked beside me really quickly and just like, and then she goes, okay. I was like mad. I'm like, geez, my thought at that moment is like, people can be so jerks. And you know how sometimes you go to the extreme? I'm like, this world is becoming filled with jerks and I hate the world, right? That kind of stuff. I maybe telling to my husband, you see, people are so, all that you go. Anyway, ladies, like 3 months go by.
She showed up at the emotional fitness studio.
Silence, please. Okay. Let me finish. Like 3 months go by and I'm sitting at my daughter's singing classes. They had like a presentation with all the students and I'm sitting down all nice like I am always, every time.
I noticed why she suddenly sits all prim and proper.
Crossed her
With
legs.
my legs crossed and looking all nice. And then this lady comes to me and she's like, hi. And I'm like, hi. I know you might not remember this, but about like 3 months ago, you were at the movie theater. And at that moment, her face clicks in my mind. And I get a little tense, like, oh my God, is she going to yell at me again? Like, I'm sorry I talked to the ticket.
I was sitting here so nicely.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Am I like, what did I do now? Right?
You and your happiness.
Yeah.
I'm not even moving. I'm sitting still.
I'm in my kid's singing class. I haven't even opened my mouth yet. So she comes to me and she looks mortified. She's like, I want to tell you, I've been like so mortified again for these past 3 months. And I can't believe that life is giving me the opportunity to find you again. And please tell you that I am so sorry. That day I was having a horrible day. I lost it and And I've been feeling so guilty and so bad. And here you are. And I'm so sorry. Guys, we teared up. Okay. And I'm like, you have nothing to be sorry about. It's fine. I like, thank you. Like, what's your name? My name is this.
Well, one, like it says a lot about her that she's been thinking about it for the last 3 years. And then two, it takes a lot of courage to go up to a stranger and own, like, hey, I messed up.
Yes. And I could also be like, yes, you did. You were a jerk. How dare you? And I was like, don't worry. Like, I was so touched, right? We exchanged numbers. Now our kids are in the same singing class, so we communicate with each other. Like, what about that show? Like, we became kind of like friends. But what this taught me, ladies, is that sometimes we make assumptions of a whole person, and in my case that day of the whole world, because of one behavior of a human being, and that doesn't determine who she is, because she's actually a really nice lady. But at that moment, she lost it, and I happened to be in front of her as a trigger of whatever was happening. But that sometimes the world and people are way better than what we can see in one behavior.
Well, and also it makes me think of, people aren't out to get us, right? Like everyone has bad day, bad night. Like you never know. I always try to remember, like a pet peeve of mine is when you're driving and like maybe you accidentally do something, that upsets someone else, or maybe you don't even accidentally do something that upsets them, but they perceive it that way and they start flipping you off and the arms are waving and they're like screaming at you in their car. And I just always...
Elizabeth is like flailing her arms all over the place right now.
And that really irritates me when it happens, but I just always try to remind myself, like, you never know what someone else is carrying around at
You never know.
Moment.
Okay, I have like a hack for that actually, Elizabeth.
Okay. I have a funny story that's similar to yours though, sort of.
So when I'm in the car and like somebody annoys me like that, I'm not the one to like throw my hands up and all that because I don't want to get killed in road rage. But I always remind myself that like I should not ascribe intent to other people's actions. So like, they probably just didn't see me. Like I try to like, well, maybe they were just like not paying attention and oops. Yeah. Like who hasn't been there at one point or another? And then if that doesn't work to calm me down, I just remind myself that they probably are driving very erratically because they have to poop really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. or something, or they're having a really stressed...
They have to poop or something.
Or something.
They're like racing home to get to the bathroom.
I've always had that fantasy that I really had to poop, and that's the time that the police stops me because I have like a broken light or something. I'm like, I'm sorry, officer, I'm sorry, but I can't. Or then you have to end up
I think my fantasies are so different than yours.
Not fantasy. Fantasy is not the right word. A worry. Fantasy is not the word. But listen, going back to what you were saying, Tara, I went to this speaking event long time ago, like to a workshop, and the woman said, the therapist says, you have to always remember the Q-tip rule. Q-tip, like an ear Q-tip. Q-T-I-P. And everybody's like, what is that? Quit taking it personal.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes we take it personally. It's about me. And sometimes it's what people are carrying, and you can just let them carry with them and know that, that it's out of your control, has nothing to do with you, and give them maybe even some grace.
So I have a funny story. It doesn't really have a happy ending or maybe even necessarily a lesson, but my family was skiing one time and we were on the ski lift about to get off and my daughter dropped her pole. And then, like we got off, she dropped her pole. It was sort of like back where basically the next person could pick it up, but we couldn't because like the chairs were coming. And so this woman on the next chair bends down to get it. And she's riding with, I assume it was her husband. She bends down, picks up the pole, but and hands it off to us. So now we have the pole, but unfortunately, in that process, she forgot to get off the lift. And so now she's going around and up again and she can't get off. And her husband is standing there. Now he got off and he is shouting at her, gosh darn it, Marie, this is why you never ever help people. And I'm standing there, my husband and I with, our 3 at the time little kids whose eyes are like big as saucers.
I love that that's where he took that. Like,
you never ever help people. And, he's glaring at us, and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, well, we're really sorry that you're still on the lift, and thank you for the pull. And I guess we'll go back to skiing now. And my family talks about, it's like in family lore, like, gosh darn it, Marie, that's why you never help people.
let me ask you, because I'm not a big skier. Like, it just takes you around and you just have to get off again, right?
No. You're going back up the mountain at that point.
Do the lifts not always take you up the mountain?
Will you get off?
How do you
you're going back. Normally, you would get off and then
you
it's
get
going
on at the
back
bottom
down
and then it goes
mountain.
up. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
But this was like a weird, like half in between two things thing. So in this case, she did end up going back up the mountain. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not just like circling around right there where you can just get off whenever you feel like. Like, you're either going up or down the mountain.
Thinking about launching a podcast or taking yours to the next level? Juliana Barbati and her team are the experts you need. They take care of everything from episode funnel design to production and marketing, so you can focus on creating content that connects. Check out julianabarbati.com and mention that we sent you. Okay.
So what's the lesson here? Number one, kindness sometimes can come to a price. And I mean, sometimes I would rather pay the price than being kind, actually. If I have to go around, and I'll come back and just laugh and say, okay, that happened. There's that. But they got their poll, so mission accomplished.
Right. Yeah, I mean, ironically, the lesson for my kids was like, wow, don't be like Marie's husband. Don't be a jerk like that. Like, it actually is nice to help people.
Mm-hmm. But you see how those black or white or all or nothing thinking sometimes can keep us away from, being kind to each other. Like, for example, when my kids have told me many times, because they hear stuff, it's like, Mom, my oldest one says this a lot. There's so many bad people in this world. And I'm like, no, sweetheart. There are bad people in the world, yes, but there are plenty of good people. Because, I mean, we can't go to one extreme or the other, because then that thinking is going to affect how you go through life.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like black or white thinking just gets you in trouble in all the realms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like food, exercise, life, relationships. Like, the fact is, we live in the gray and in the in between, but so often our mind doesn't live in the gray and the in between.
Well, and
right, like our brains go to, and also like that default negativity bias.
Exactly. Sometimes the bad things are louder and stay with us longer. But do you have a story, Tara? Because if not, I have another one.
I have a hack, actually, that I kind of use for like when I think the world is all shit and falling apart. Whenever there is like a tragedy of some sort, especially if it's like man-made, right? Like if it's a terrorist attack or something like that. I think a lot of us are very quick to be like, oh, the world is full of horrible people or whatever. But if you look for the helpers, like they are everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't hear about tragedy like something like that happening without also hearing the stories of like the man that saved the baby from the railroad tracks and the first responders that like rushed into the burning building and, things like that. So like it's there, but it's so much more understated that I think it's easy to not see it.
I love that, actually. I never really thought about it that intentionally. Like looking for the helpers, because you're right, they are always there, but we tend to focus on the other stuff.
Yeah.
And think about it. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Like, I've had situations where somebody is in danger and I don't think about it. It's something like activates in me. I don't know if it was 12 years in the ER or what is it, that rather than freezing and escaping, I have the opposite effect. I'm the one that is like jumping in to help the person. And it's like this adrenaline that, I feel in my body. And I'm proud of that. That's an example. For example, I saw this woman in front of us. I was driving with my husband and our kid, and these two cars got in a really bad accident. And, one of the cars actually like went really far and all the airbags are out and the woman is like trying to get out of her car. And here's me telling my husband, I'm like, Greg, stop the car. And he's like, what? I jump out of this car and go help the woman out because she was in the middle of the road. this woman is shaking, right? Like all her body
So much
shaking.
adrenaline.
Yes, and she was so scared. It was really hard. And I help her to the sidewalk of the road, and she's like, I need to call my husband, and my phone is in the car. The car is like blowing smoke, but it's weird because it wasn't dark smoke. It was like, white smoke, which here I am, whoever knows about cars. I don't know. But anyway, there was smoke coming, but it was white smoke. I don't know. And Greg is freaking out. Greg is like, stay out of the road. I'm like, I'm fine. I will. And she's like, I need my phone. I go to the car, grab her phone from under the airbags and stuff so she can call her husband. And then I gave her a hug. I was there with her. She calls the husband. Anyway, when I get home, I think I told this to a friend or something. And the first response of my friend is like, but what, you put your life in danger. What if you now, if you would have get in trouble, if all this fear. And I was like, I get that there's that fear, but it's like that balance between kindness and fear. Does that make sense? It's like, because actually after the fact, we gave the woman her phone number, and the other person who hit her told the police a whole different story of what happened. What? So the police called us to get our version of it, which matched the version of the other woman. And that case was actually solved because there were many eyewitnesses who left their phone numbers because the woman just really did something very illegal on the road. And that's why she hit the other person. Because otherwise it would have been just the two of them. They're, what she said and the other one said. So the other person is like, and now you're going to get in trouble, have to talk to the police for somebody you don't even know. And I'm like, yes, why not? Right. But sometimes it's losing that comfort.
I want Maria in a crisis.
Oh yeah, actually you do. I don't know what's going on with me, but yes.
I'm actually a really good first responder too.
Yeah.
Like I know my first aid, my CPR, I know how to use an AED, I know all that stuff.
Me too.
I stay pretty calm until later. And then I go home and freak out. But
Need a cleaner home without the stress? Our partner Clean is a trusted cleaning service based in Anne Arundel County, serving homes and businesses across the DMV area. They do it all, from routine tidying to deep cleanings, move-in, move-out jobs, Airbnb turnovers, and janitorial services. Their team is experienced, reliable, and focused on giving you back time and peace in your space. And here's the best part. Mention Wellness Rebranded and you'll get $100 off your first cleaning. Visit chrisclean.com, that's KRISSKLEAN.com. Call 410-858-5620 and check the show notes for all the details. So, again,
Terry, got any stories?
I don't think I do. What? I don't have
You're
anything.
the story queen.
That is true.
I'm totally blanking on anything that has some sort of lesson involved with it.
So you've gone through life with no lessons. You're a lesson-less.
I like the stories that you guys know already. I don't know.
Lesson-less Tara.
As soon as we stop recording, I'm like,
sure.
Oh.
Yes.
But I'm totally drawing a blank right now.
All right. Well, you said you had another story. What is it?
No, I have like 20. No, I'm kidding. The other one actually has to do with our previous episode. So by the way, if you haven't listened to this, was it our previous episode or the one before that? But we were talking about sometimes how we as women shrink ourselves. Was that our previous episode or 2 episodes ago? I don't know. Go listen to both. But, you know that I was at the grocery store?
Problem solved.
Yeah, problem solved. Just go back and listen to the last 2. I was at the grocery store with my 15-year-old and this woman walks by in her shopping cart with a little puppy, which by the way, I didn't know you can bring a puppy into the grocery store. Can you? Unless it's like
I don't think
an
you're
emotional puppy. I don't know. Well, she had a little nice puppy on her shopping cart, like on the top part where you put babies on. There. She walks by, and of course, my daughter and I, as good dog lovers, we're like, "Oh my goodness, the puppy, how cute!" And we started asking if we can pet the puppy, and the woman starts talking to us. And I guess, like everybody else, she hears my accent and she asked me where I'm from, and I said I'm from Venezuela. And then she starts saying how she have traveled to South America, whatever. And then she asked my daughter, "So do you speak Spanish?" And my daughter says, "Yeah, just a little bit." We talked for a little longer and then the woman leaves and I asked my daughter, "Sweetie, why did you say just a little bit when you're fully bilingual? You speak perfect Spanish." She said, "I don't know, Mom. I didn't want to sound like how you say, like, pretentious so I wanted to be humble. So I just said a little bit. And that sparked a really good conversation to have with a teenager, which is about minimizing your skills or shrinking yourself for whatever reason, because I don't think I've ever taught her that you need to do that. But I was like, Amanda, if you have a skill and you have something that you're good at, who said is wrong to say, hey, yes, I speak 2 languages, or here I am and I'm a badass speaker. We're really good podcasters. We have a successful podcast. Like, where is the message that we might sound too whatever, again, too much, or
for your britches, I believe is the term you're looking for.
Okay, well, why? What?
Her face.
When is that?
She's like, what's up, britches?
I don't know.
Do you know?
No.
Britches are like your pants.
Oh, like from long time ago
Yeah.
when you were born, Elizabeth, or when? Like from the 1950s? Like,
This would be like from Old English, dude.
no kidding. No wonder you know this stuff, Elizabeth. Nobody uses that expression ever anymore.
See that coming.
I've been here for 25 years. Never heard that before.
Never heard the expression, he's too big for his britches?
No.
Ah.
Well, now you've learned something.
Okay, as usual.
Basically, it's like full of yourself.
Exactly. But where did we learn that? Why is it bad when somebody says like, hey, Tara, you look so pretty today? And why your answer cannot be like, thank you. I know. I thought so too.
I usually go, oh, thanks.
No, now I'm going to be like, I know.
I know.
Thank you.
I know. I do think society like kind of brings that on us. Like, dude, we don't want to be braggy and too big for our britches and full of ourselves and, you know, make people feel bad by like building ourselves up. So we do kind of try to minimize and shrink. And I think it's terrible. We need to take up more space and claim who we are.
Even that very idea, though, makes me ask the question of why does someone else's success or win or however you want to frame it mean that I have to feel bad about myself?
Uncomfortable. Exactly.
I don't know where that came from, but the phrase, like, when the tide comes in, all ships rise is something that I love because I feel like, yeah, dude, like, you know, collaboration, not competition, you know?
And I'm going to throw something in that this is just a personal opinion. This is not based on stats or anything. But do you guys think that, for example, among men, they have that situation a little less? Like a man probably would not hesitate to say, yes, I'm bilingual. I speak 2 languages. Or yes, I'm really good at project management. I'm the best in town. Like, but then as women, like, it took me so hard to right now say, hey, Maria, somebody asked me, are you a good speaker? Yes, I actually am a really good speaker. Right? But no, before maybe 5 years ago, I would say, well, I don't know. I think so. The testimonials say, you know, people's reviews. But now I said, actually, I think I am. But I might sound like, oh, she's too full of herself or, you know, what a non-humble person. I don't know.
Bad to be confident, right?
Yeah.
Or
I agree because nobody's going to like toot your horn for you.
Yeah.
We talked about that, remember?
Yeah.
Toot your own horn.
Maria's a horn tooter.
That's right.
Be your
A
own
toot horner.
horn tutor.
Your own horn
Okay,
tutor.
by the way, if you haven't listened to that episode, we have an episode
The
that we
live
record
episode.
live with many of
Not
our
that you guys
local
haven't remembered. I
listeners.
would not have remembered which episode that was.
I don't
remember
know the number of the episode, but it's our live episode. And if you haven't heard to that episode, please do. I hope we can do it again soon, a live episode with local listeners. But
It's number 162.
162.
So something you said, Tara, made me think of a story that happened to me recently, which is you were saying, you know, community over collaboration or something to that effect. I think.
Collaboration over competition.
Thank you. Collaboration over competition. I don't know why, but recently in
I don't know why. I know, I don't know. Sorry.
recently within like one day and then the very next day, I received 2 different emails from 2 different local dietitians that I don't know. And each one of them said basically, hey, I saw you somewhere and I was wondering if you would like to meet up and have coffee. And they both went out of their way to tell me like what they specialize in and how it is not competition for what I specialize in. And I thought, and they were asking if I could get together. And I was thinking to myself, wow, like I feel sad that they felt like they had to like so explicitly say, like, basically, I'm not a threat to you, kind of. And I just want to connect or whatever, because frankly, one of my closest RD friends in town is another intuitive eating dietitian. Like, I don't view it as competition. I think the more people practicing from an intuitive eating lens, the better, frankly.
Yep.
And also, everybody eats. There's plenty of room for all of us. And it's just like interesting how things
I feel like that harkens back to the scarcity mindset.
totally,
You know?
Well, I think when you feel confident of what you offer and what makes you unique on what you offer and that you're not for everyone, then you're okay with collaborating with people. Imagine in the mental health world, how many mental health therapists are even in the little community we live in? Plenty. I mean, I'm telling you, too many, right? So, but they're all different and people have different styles and different ways they guide their sessions or what they specialize in. And it still happens in that area that people say, I don't want to collaborate because they're going to take my clients away. If somebody takes a client away, I'm sorry to say this, is not the client's fault or the other person's fault. It's yours.
Yeah, true. I agree.
I'm sorry. As a business owner, if somebody was, I don't know, printing flyers with you, right? And they go to somebody else, it's not the other printing company's fault or the client's or the customer fault. Something you can refine in your business to not lose clients. I think it's the same with therapy. It's the same with intuitive eating. If I go to a different trainer, is it the trainer's fault that they chose her? No, people have free will to go look for services wherever they want. It's an invitation for you and actually take it as information, as feedback that maybe, you can get some input from your current clients and customers of how to improve your service. So once you understand that and you know that the only tool to fight this is to improve your services and really narrow who you're serving, where is the competition?
Yeah, agreed.
I say that to trainers all the time. When I mentor trainers on how to grow their business, they're like, but what about so-and-so coworker that does the same thing I do, but better than I do it? I'm like, well,
Invitation to improve.
correct. Like there's literally, I had that conversation with someone this week and I'm like, okay, first of all, like work on yourself, work on yourself, work on your product. But the other trainers are not your competition. Like Netflix and the couch.
Yeah.
Those are your competition.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's plenty of business for everyone in every industry. I believe that.
And the collaborations, how much have I grown?
Oh,
yeah.
Because of collaborations and reaching out to other therapists and say, how did you do this? And how is it being so successful? Actually, last night, I sent an email to another therapist that I realized she published a book. And I was like, I want to publish my own book at some point. I emailed this woman. I'm like, hey, I bought your book and she's like, let's go for coffee. I want to share everything with you. And I'm like, exactly my kind of people.
Yes.
I agree. That's
No gatekeeping.
No, what for? Right? But yes. So hopefully this is an episode where you were entertained with our stories and know that most of the things that you experience in life, leave a lesson. Notice them. Take them as information, even if they're experiences that are not that comfortable. And going back to what we were just talking about, this is a reminder that talking about businesses and how to improve them and that collaboration and the importance of wellness that we always talk in this podcast, don't forget that this healthcare trio, we go to workplaces. We can help you get a review of what's working, what's not working. We can help you bring wellness in real terms, right? Not the many things that I've seen clients tell me like, Maria, my workplace talks about wellness, but it's actually putting more pressure, more things to do, or the wellness, they want to see it only on the employees, but not also on leadership. And it has to do a culture.
They don't value it at
or
all.
they don't value,
wellness in the workplace.
Exactly. So don't forget that that's something that Wellness Rebranded offers. We do this podcast and we love it, but beyond the podcast, we are a healthcare trio that can come for speaking events or wellness events or team building events or even panel presentations where your employees can ask questions and help you redesign your relationship with food, fitness, and feelings, not only with you, sweetie, at home and in your personal life, but also at work. So reach out and we'll come rebrand yours and your employees' wellness journey. Until next time. Thank you for listening. If you want to connect with me outside of this podcast, you can find me on Instagram at coaching_therapist.
I'm Elizabeth. You can find me at Elizabeth Harris Nutrition or in my Facebook group, Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Tara DeLeon Fitness. Guys, if you loved this episode or any of our other episodes, we would love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcast. It really, really helps us get the non-diet word out to the rest of the world. So please leave us a review.
Yes, thank you.